is Kylie, and I'm here with Mary, the creator of Mango Math. And today we're going to be going over the second grade math kit and the skills covered in the kit.
Each grade level kit is set up the same way, with using our acronyms to put the games in place. So you start with measurement, then you go to algebraic thinking, number sense, geometry, and then odds in order. Each grade level packet is set up for 4 students to use because we like the students to be in small groups so that they communicate and collaborate together.
Some of the skills inside of the second grade math kit include multi-digit addition and subtraction, place values up to 1,000, and simple multiples.
I'm the Greatest has students working on place value and understanding greater than and less than. They'll spin a spinner, which will give them a number. In this case, I've spun a 5. So I'm going to write the number 5 in my thousands place, a 9 in my hundreds place, a 2 in my tens place, that's a messy 2, and another 2, do this one better, in my ones place. I'm then going to stack all these numbers together and create a number in the thousands. So I have 5,922. So I want the students to be able to read numbers as well as compare them. So they're going to determine out of these 3 numbers, as 3 players are playing, who has the greatest number, which would be this person, who has the least number, which would be this player. So you're going to determine who has the greatest and who has the least as they play the game. Cashion is another place value game in which we're getting students to use currency to understand place value. So they are working with $100 bills, $10 bills, and $1 bills. They'll roll the dice to determine how many of one currency they're going to take. In this case, they're going to take 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they're going to write that down on their board, and they have 9 ones. They will roll again. That determines how many 10s they have. They have 0, so they don't have anything in that spot. And they'll roll again and have an 8, so they'll have $800, and they'll place that in that spot. And then they're to tell you what total amount of money that they have. So in this case, they have $809. They can also use it if they had 2 tens dice. They might roll 12, and in that case they'll count out 12 $10 bills and get the idea that 10 of these is equal to 100, 10 of these is equal to 100, and then you have the 2 additional left over. So you could actually have 12 tens, or you can have, rewrite that as 100 and 2 tens. Subtraction Action has students working on their subtraction. They will roll a dice, which will tell them how many places on the board they'll move. In this case, I rolled a 3, and I'm going to move 3 places. I landed on the 40, and I'm going to subtract. Every time I land on a number, I'm going to subtract it by 12. So 40 minus 12 is going to be 28, and I'm going to cover that in my counter color. Students take turns working around the board. If they happen to land on a star, they can cover up any number that they want. They get a freebie, but they might have to go around multiple times to get to the point where they have 4 of their counters in a row. So the person who has 4 counters in their color in a row first wins the game. Lose Your Sense has students using currency, dimes and pennies, and maybe dollars, in order to learn subtraction. They're going to subtract again and again and again until whoever has the smallest amount at the end. Students will start by rolling a dice, which will give them an amount that they need to subtract out. In this case, it's 14. So they're going to take out 1 dime and 4 pennies. Then they're going to look at what they have left on their game board, and that's going to be what their total is subtracting out. So in this case, I have 8 dimes left and 5 pennies. Students will roll again. In this case, let's say they rolled a 7, and they need to subtract out 7 pennies. They don't have 7 pennies on the board, so they're going to have to take out 1 dime and replace it with 10 pennies. So students will see that they have now don't have 8, they have 7 dimes, and they have 15 pennies. So now they can subtract the 7 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they can see that they have left is the 7 dimes and 8 pennies. Foursquare has students in 2nd grade working on simple multiplication. They are going to roll the dice, which will give them, this is a double dice, so they have an outside number and an interior number. So in this case they have 4 and a 3. So they're going to start to make an array that is 4 vertically or 4 high, and then 3 across. So they have 2 that are vertical, 3 that are horizontal, and then they're going to write that on the board. 3 horizontal, 2 vertical, and then they are going to figure out how many do I need to make a complete square or a rectangle. In this case they need 2 more, which gives them a total of 6 squares that they need to fill in that space. So this is just working on simple multiplication in which they're filling in arrays.
That was just a quick overview of some of the skills covered in the 2nd grade math kit. Be sure to play the games with students multiple times because the more they play the games, the better they will get at the skills. Thank you for watching, and be sure to watch our other videos where we give an introduction to the other grade level math kits.